KingAdwar. Once upon a time, there was a beautiful island in the middle of the ocean. Its name was Gomorrah. Gomorrah was a very small island, but the people of Gomorrah were always happy. They had small and comfortable houses, and they did not work very hard. One day, a stranger came to Gomorrah with a very beautiful boat. His name was Arman, and he had lots of gold in his boat. He was very rich. He was very hungry, so he found a small restaurant. There were lots of people in the restaurant. He went in and sat at a table. The waiter came and said, "Welcome to our island, sir. What would you like to eat?" "Thank you very much. I would like to eat some meat," said Arman. "Okay, sir," said the waiter. Then the waiter brought some meat. Arman finished the meat very quickly and said, "Bring me more." "Okay, sir," said the waiter. Then the waiter brought some more meat, and Arman finished the meat again and said, "More." "Okay, sir," said the waiter. The waiter brought more meat, but Arman asked for more every time. Then the waiter said, "I am sorry, sir, but you ate all the meat in our restaurant. The meat is finished." "On my island, we always have more meat. We have got a very big island, and we are very, very rich, and we always ask for more. You should do the same," said Arman. Then everybody looked at Arman. They were surprised. One young man stood up and asked, "Where are you from, sir?" "I am from Manyland." "Manyland is a very big and rich island." "Is it bigger than Gomorrah?" "Yes, of course. It is bigger and richer than Gomorrah, and we always want more land and more gold. We always work for more. You must have more money and land. Your island is very small. You should find a bigger island in order to have more meat and more gold. Our island is small, but we are happy. But you can be happier." Then Arman gave the waiter a lot of gold and went out. Everybody was thinking about Arman's words. More land, more gold, more money. Then the people of Gomorrah went to Adwar's place. Adwar was the king of Gomorrah. He was a very young and strong man. He was nice to his people, and everybody in Gomorrah liked King Adwar. People came to the door of the palace, and the guardians opened the door. Then King Adwar saw them and said, "Welcome to my palace." "Thank you, my king," said one man. "I think you came to ask for something." "Yes, my king," said the man. "What is it?" asked KingAdwar. "Could we have more land and more gold?" "Why do you ask for more land and more gold? Aren't you happy with your lives?" "We are happier, but we want to be happier." KingAdwar looked at the man and smiled. He loved the people of Gomorrah more than anything. He always listened to his people, so he said, "Okay, I will think about it and I will try to make you happier." Then all the people smiled happily. They thanked KingAdwar and left the palace. KingAdwar was surprised and he did not know what to do. Then he went to Yaga. Yaga was the wizard of Gomorrah. He was a very wise man and he knew a lot about magic. Adwar went to Yaga's room and said, "Hello, Yaga. I need your help." "Welcome, my king. How can I help you?" asked Yaga. "The people of Gomorrah asked for some more land and more gold. They want to be happier." "It is not easy to find more land or more gold, my king. We live on an island." "But my people want to be happier. Isn't there a way to find more land and more gold?" "There is, but it is very dangerous." "Tell me the way, old Yaga. I want to make my people happier." "You must go to Barker Island yourself. Barker Island is very big and has lots of gold." "Where can I find the Barker Island?" asked KingAdwar. "You must cross the ocean." "It looks easy." "No, it is not easy. Barker Island has a guardian. The Barker Island is a very dangerous place, and there is a guardian on the island. You must hunt the guardian of the island. Then you can be the king of Barker Island, and your people can have more land and more gold." "Who is the guardian of Barker?" "It is a golden antelope. You must hunt it, and then you can have Barker." "Will you help me, old Yaga?" "I will help you only 3 times." "Thank you very much," said KingAdwar. Then KingAdwar left and called his servants and soldiers. He said, "Prepare my ship. I will go to Barker Island and have more gold and land." So the soldiers and servers left and prepared the king's ship. KingAdwar called Faraz. Faraz was KingAdwar's best soldier. He was a very brave and honest soldier. Then Faraz and KingAdwar went to their ship. The weather was sunny, and the ocean was very calm. There were no clouds in the sky, and the sun was shining. They were in the ocean with their ship now. Then KingAdwar said, "We must be very careful, Faraz. Old Yaga said Barker Island was very dangerous." "I will be careful, my king. said Faraz. They sailed for hours in the ocean, and then they saw Barker Island. It was a very big and beautiful island. Their ship was very close to the island, but suddenly dark clouds appeared in the sky. The clouds were black, and they looked very scary. Then it began to rain, and big waves appeared in the ocean. Faraz looked at the sky and said, "It is a very big storm, my king." "Be careful, Faraz," said KingAdwar. Then the rain became heavier, and the waves became bigger. It was a very strong storm. The king's ship was in danger. The giant waves were hitting the ship strongly. Faraz and KingAdwar fought the storm, but the storm was getting bigger and stronger every minute. Then a giant wave came and hit the ship. The giant wave broke the ship. Faraz shouted, "The ship isn't strong enough, my king. We must leave the ship." "You are right, Faraz. We must jump in the ocean." Then another strong wave hit the ship, and the ship began to sink in the ocean. Faraz and KingAdwar jumped into the sea and tried to swim. It was still raining heavily, and the waves were getting bigger, and the ship got lost at sea. "The waves are very high, my king. I cannot see my way," said Faraz. "I cannot see anything either. Only old Yaga may help us. He will show the way." "Old Yaga, please help us," said KingAdwar. Then they heard a noise from the sky. It was old Yaga's voice. The voice said, "Use air." "The air, of course. We can fill something with air." "I have got a leather bag," said Faraz. Then Faraz filled the bag with air. The bag became a balloon, and Faraz swam with the bag. "Swim this way, my king. Hold the bag," said Faraz. Then KingAdwar swam to the bag, and they held the bag together. Faraz and KingAdwar swam with the bag for hours. The storm was a dark and dangerous storm. It was like a wild animal. It tried to kill Faraz and KingAdwar, but they were very strong. They fought with the waves for hours, and at last Faraz shouted, "We have almost reached the island, my king. I can see the coast." "Swim, Faraz. We must swim faster," said KingAdwar. They swam faster, and at last they were on the coast. Then the storm suddenly stopped. The dark clouds went away, and the sun began to shine. The weather changed in a minute. KingAdwar looked at the sky and said, "The island did not want us. The storm tried to kill us. Yaga was right. This island is very dangerous. We must be very careful. You are right, my king, said Faraz. Then Faraz took his sword, and KingAdwar took his bow and arrow. They walked very slowly on the island. They were very careful. KingAdwar said, "We must find the golden antelope now. It must be among the trees." They went into the big forest and looked for the golden antelope. The forest was huge and very dangerous. KingAdwar stopped and looked around. Then he saw a black tree and stopped in front of it. "This is a very strange tree, Faraz. The tree is black." Faraz came nearer and looked at the tree. He raised his head and saw a horrible thing. He said, "This is not a tree, my king. This is a monster." "What?" KingAdwar looked up and said, "Oh my God! This is a giant spider. Run, Faraz, run!" It was not a tree. It was the leg of a giant spider. It was the biggest spider in the world. It was very strong and horrible. It had 8 long legs and a big head. There were lots of black eyes on its face, and it had got a scary mouth. There were 2 big, sharp teeth in its mouth. Faraz and the king ran away, but the spider was running behind them. It was running very fast. KingAdwar used his bow and threw an arrow at the spider, but nothing happened to it. Then Faraz fought the spider with his sword, but the spider was very strong, and Faraz said, "We cannot fight this spider. It is like a wall, my king." "You are right, Faraz. We need help." "Old Yaga can help us," said Faraz. "Old Yaga, please help us," shouted KingAdwar. Then Old Yaga's voice came from the sky. The voice said, "Use fire." "That's right. Spiders hate fire." "Let's make a fire," said KingAdwar. Faraz and KingAdwar stopped under a rock and hid themselves. The spider could not see them under the rock. Then they made a fire and threw more and more wood onto the fire. The fire became bigger and bigger. Then the spider saw the fire and ran away. The king and Faraz were safe now. "Come on, Faraz. We must find the golden antelope. This island is getting more dangerous every minute." "Yes, my king," said Faraz. They went on their way and started looking for the golden antelope. They were walking slowly and carefully again, but suddenly Faraz shouted, "Ah, my legs!" "What happened?" asked KingAdwar. KingAdwar looked at the ground, and he could not believe his eyes. There were millions of red ants on the ground, and they were attacking their legs. They did not know what to do. Then Faraz said, "We should do something. Otherwise these ants will eat us, my king." "Use your sword, Faraz," said KingAdwar. Faraz attacked the ants with his sword, but they were very small. Then they began to run, but the ants were everywhere. "Only old Yaga can help us," said Faraz. "You are right, Faraz." "Old Yaga, please help us," shouted KingAdwar. Then old Yaga's voice came from the sky again. He said, "Use water." "Water, of course. Ants cannot swim." "We must find a lake or a river," said KingAdwar. So they looked for a river or lake. Millions of ants were still biting their legs. Then Faraz saw a river behind the trees and shouted, "There is a river here, my king." "Jump into the river, Faraz, so that we can save our lives." Then they jumped into the river, and the ants could not follow them. Faraz and KingAdwar swam and crossed the river. They were safe now, but they were very tired. KingAdwar looked at Faraz and said, "Old Yaga helped us 3 times. He will not help us any more. We are alone now. We must find the golden antelope and hunt it very quickly. It must be among the trees," said Faraz. Then, suddenly, Faraz saw a bright yellow light behind the trees. It was the light of the golden antelope. He spoke silently. "I found it, my king." "Where is it?" asked KingAdwar silently. "There." KingAdwar and Faraz could not believe their eyes. It was the golden antelope. It was shining like a star. It had 2 big brown eyes and 2 shiny horns. There were 2 shiny silver lines on its body. It looked so beautiful and innocent. KingAdwar and Faraz were fascinated. They did not speak for hours. They watched the golden antelope silently. "This is the most beautiful thing I have ever seen," said Faraz. "This animal came from heaven. This is a gift to us. But we must kill it." "Never." "But you wanted more land and more gold for your people. So you must hunt the golden antelope." "My people don't need more gold or more land. They need more beauty," said KingAdwar. What will we do now? We will go back to Gomorrah. Then King Adwar and Faraz made a boat from trees and went back to Gomorrah. They were very tired, but happy at the same time. They were still thinking about the beauty of the golden antelope. The people of Gomorrah were waiting for their king. They were waiting for more gold and more land. But King Adwar came and said, "I did not bring you more gold or more land, but I brought you something more important than gold or land." "What is more important than gold and land?" asked one man. "You will see tomorrow," said King Adwar. Then King Adwar went to his palace. He began to draw the pictures of the golden antelope. He drew wonderful pictures all night. He did not sleep or eat. He just drew the pictures of the golden antelope. In the morning, he went out. People were waiting for him in front of his palace. King Adwar called his servants and said, "Bring the pictures." Then the servants brought the pictures and showed them to the people of Gomorrah. They were fascinated by the picture of the golden antelope. Nobody said a word. Then King Adwar said, "I could not kill the golden antelope for more gold and more land. You would have done the same. We do not need more gold for a happier life. We need more beauty for a happier life." King Adwar was right, and the people of Gomorrah did not want more gold or more land anymore. They lived happily ever after.